You know, one of the great things about being a grandpa is that the next generation is willing to help and do some of your chores. Well, today our chore is root inspection and analysis. How are you making out? What's it like?
Hard? It's hard.
Okay, try.
Pull it, Liam. That's hard.
That's hard? Yeah.
I think I cut the roots. I'm not sure. I think you cut the roots.
What's that like?
Soft. Not as hard as the last one.
Yeah, not as hard. You can get them out all right. You make sure you get the whole. Yeah, that's pretty good. That's a good one. Dig another one, okay? All right. Hey, super. What's that like there?
Hard.
You got a bigger plant, don't you? There you go. See a lot of roots, huh? There you go. Good job. Well, rather than stand out in the hot sun, we thought for personal comfort, we'd bring all these three examples from these three different fields back under the shade of a couple nice birch trees here. And to set the scene a little bit, I conversed with a group of consultants, independent agronomists across Ontario, from the Ottawa Valley through to central Ontario and down into Middlesex, Elgin counties. And I'm the token seed guy of the group, but they're all a lot smarter than I am in most regards. However, I often kid them a little bit about the fact that in areas around St. Mary's, we've just got a bunch of monkey dirt. It doesn't really matter what you do to it. A trained monkey can farm some of the ground that we work on. And the interesting thing, we've gone to these three fields, okay? And they're all examples of what we call, or what I kind of in jest call monkey dirt. Listowel silt loam, Park Hill silt loam, Thorndale silt loam, all very productive soils and managed well. The kind of ground where 200 bushel corn per acre is almost a disappointment. So, but these three fields today, despite that fact, are all a little different, right? Do they feel like the same when you're out walking around on them?
No.
What was one thing you noticed? What was the last field where these plants came from? What was it like walking on it?
Soft, kind of.
Yeah,
Yeah,
soft.
soft.
Speak out to the camera. It was soft, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah? What about the middle field? Do you remember what it was like?
It was soft.
Yeah, it wasn't too bad.
Well, a little bit like sand.
A little bit like sand. Yeah, on the headland it was. Yeah. And the very first field we went to.
Hard. Really hard.
Really hard? Hard to walk on?
Yep.
Yeah. Well, to set the scene a little bit further, these two plants they've got have, again, monkey dirt type soils. 3 crop rotation. It's kind of been the history on that particular field, with some cover crop use in the fall, a little bit of manure. And let's hold the plants up, guys. Hold them upside down, all right? Okay. What do you kind of see? Is there anything that kind of reminds you of a little bit?
On that one, it looks like an upside down umbrella.
Yeah, it looks like an upside down umbrella. It's what you call symmetrical all the way around. this one's kind of the same way. We hang it upside down. It's got, this is the one you guys chopped off with a shovel, and you kind of burnt some roots off here, but that's okay. It still has, these are called adventitious roots, okay? And they actually make a great big root system as the plant gets bigger, okay? Look at this, what's this?
Seed. A seed?
That's a seed, yeah. You take all these roots off, you can find that the soil is about there, seed is about there.
Yeah.
How deep is that? From my thumb. 5 centimeters? Yeah, 4 to 5 centimeters, right? Do you think?
Yeah.
Yeah, 4 to 5 centimeters. That's almost a 2-inch bracket kind of thing. Loose soil, nice seed bed, conventional tillage. I forgot to mention that. Conventional tillage, chiseled last fall, cultivated twice this spring, and after wheat. And again, generally pretty healthy corn plants. Planted on, in this particular case, May 1st. These 3 fields were all planted between April 28th and about May 9th. So all in kind of that early May time frame. This is the second one, right?
Yeah.
Okay. What's that ground feel like?
Wet.
Yeah?
Well, not wet, just moist.
Chunkier?
Yeah.
Yeah. Just a little chunkier. Not the same, not as quite as porous, or not quite as loose, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, admittedly, we've gone to the worst part of this particular field to dig up some of these plants. It has some variable growth to it, and what do you notice here, though? Here, let me see this. If you look real close.
The one side is longer roots.
Yeah, the one side's longer, and it's kind of, what do you think? It's kind of missing?
Yeah.
Missing that side a little bit? What do you think?
Yeah, it's a little bit.
Yeah, yeah. It's, what's this one like? Oh, look at that one you got.
A little bit too.
Yeah, it's, if you hold it upside down, it's kind of, it's lopsided umbrella, isn't it?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
This particular field is corn following soybeans. 2019 it was corn, so it's flipped back and forth, corn, soybeans. Also conventional till, deep chisel last fall, spring cultivated, and probably a little bit early. This was the earliest planted field on on April 28th. And despite that fact, it's the first year this particular farmer has used active force down pressure on his planter. He's had it installed. Of course, being first time out, he just went out and he picked 150 pounds down pressure. And what he essentially has done is that he created a sidewall on the double disc opener. You know, planters have those 2 disc openers. You've been around those corn planters, right?
Yeah.
2 discs. Where does the seed go?
In between.
Kind of in between. Then there's 2 press wheels at the back, right?
Covering them up.
Kind of firm it in. Well, if you put too much pressure on the sidewall of that disc, you can make that ground, particularly if it's a little sticky, all right? It kind of wants to smear. It's a little hard for roots to grow into, right?
Yep. Yeah.
They have to work harder. And when they're young, a young plant, it's delicate. So when you slice and create a sidewall trench area, you will have plants that kind of look like this. They'll be a bit stunted, and they will have a definitely side restriction on part of the plant. Okay? Let's go last field, which in fact was the first field that we looked at. And what do we got here?
Oh, it's really hard soil.
Speak up.
Really hard soil.
Yeah, really hard. What would it be like trying to put a drill through that ground?
Would give the drill a little bit of trouble.
You give the drill some trouble? Yeah, you're fighting it a bit? Yeah. Yeah, okay. Corn, soybean ground. Been corn rotated, corn, soybeans for quite a few years now, as long as I can remember. No till, actually, corn and soybeans over the course of time. And it's not exactly an example, despite the fact that it is in a monkey dirt part of the area. Plant it with a planter with a lead holder. I don't know if you really call it a no-till planter, but it certainly does plant quite well when conditions are good. But when we get the dirt, hard dirt off here, what do you see here?
Small roots.
Yeah, and what do you notice about?
Not very many.
And are they balanced?
No.
They're kind of skinny,
Yeah.
right? You look at them this way, they got a little bit of width. Turn them this way, what do you see?
They've got a lot of length.
Yeah, but like this?
Not balanced.
Yeah, not balanced, really narrow.
Around.
Now what's going on here, not as opposed to that previous stand where we kind of sheared one side off with some double disc pressure. In this case, we've created a restriction on both sides of these roots. And they literally are just following the seed trench, the path of least resistance, where they can grow the easiest through this kind of lumpy stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, you remember what it was like to walk on. Yeah, it was like the roadway. It had very little tillage. You know, not that tillage is the be-all and the end-all when it comes to corn production. This kind of ground and this 50-50 corn soybean rotation likely does have at least have a bit of strip tillage, probably a little more colder action up front to try to get the stand established in a little more uniform way. This particular field also has been bone dry since planting time. It's had maybe an inch, barely an inch of rain since its planting date of May 10th. There's rains going through the area now, and some people are getting blessed, others are not. But roots tell you a lot about what's going on in the field right at this stage. Yeah. That's why we went and looked at them. Okay. Anything else you got to say to the folks today?
No.
No? Where are you going next?
Swimming.
Going swimming? Boy, you're lucky. Hey, thanks for watching, folks.